Perfect. Hello, everyone.
Hi everyone. I'm a new face, by the way. I'm Matty or Matthias, and I'm actually going to be the community manager for the cycle. So I've been kind of working behind the scenes a little bit for the last 2 weeks, but you'll probably see my face a little bit more in the future from now on. And I've got the wonderful KrisKelvin here.
Yeah, I have
to
white, so you can see. Yeah, it's really me. Now I get back to my white shirt, so
Nice.
not really visible, but it's nice to be here again.
Yeah.
I think it's like my third time in a row, I think, on the stream, and it's great fun.
Nice one.
So yeah,
We should get you achievements for that.
What is better yet? We need to get 200 subscribers on our Twitch channel so we can see our wonderful windfall in a suit in the stream. That would be perfect. Perfect Christmas present for everyone, I think,
That
including
would be
us.
wonderful, yes. Okay, what we got kind of planned for today?
So today we are going to be playing again our main branch. That means we're going to see a lot of stuff that is not yet ready for release. So we're going to have like a look behind the curtain in a sense for what we do have in store for Alpha 6 potentially and further updates. I hope all of you guys have already taken a look at our wonderful blog post where we share some details on the future, not just Alpha 5 but Alpha 6 and potential closed beta 1 release, which is happening next year. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be showing some of the stuff that we already have in there, and as always, we are eager to look for your questions in the chat, and hopefully we can read them.
Maybe you guys have some, if you read the roadmap or if you haven't, maybe we can drop a link in the chat so you can kind of take a look at it and let us know if you have any questions specifically regarding the roadmap or any kind of things that you feel are missing, and then we'll try and answer all of the questions you have.
That would be lovely. So I suggest we queue up for the game, and
what are we queuing up for?
We are queuing up for Squad Loop because that's the game mode that contains a bunch of new things. Squad Loop. Yep. We are, as you can see, we already sort of boasted a little bit about this last time. We have a very cool new launch screen with indication of when the game would start. You could at least anticipate because we have finally added the player count. Meanwhile, I think we could go to career and crafting and just show off a bit of new stuff that we have prepared for you.
So here, what's new?
Yeah, so we are putting out, as we told last time, we are putting out a new weapon from Osiris, but today I wanted to talk a bit more about new weapon mods, and specifically what we are rolling out in Alpha 5 is red mods for maybe like some of the favorite weapon for some people is a flechette gun. We are rolling 2 very awesome needle red mods, and for this one, I mean, I don't know if you have it in your gear set. Maybe it will be very fun to.
Don't at the moment, but I think I found it.
Oh,
I haven't.
Yeah.
Let's get it then.
No, that's not it. This is that one.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can change that. Oh, actually, because the basilisk is new.
Yeah, the basilisk
is
also new. I'm not sure. I mean,
so
I think we showed it off a bit. So we have 2 cool mods here, 2 red mods for this gun, and one of them is basically, I don't remember how exactly it's called, but it's jet needles. So the needles that don't actually drop on the ground, but they have a rather a slow starting speed. So you fire a bunch of needles, they sort of switch on their little engines, and they fly into the enemy from for quite a long distance. So it's actually really fun to play against monsters. I tried it recently, and I wasn't even expecting that it would be as fun.
Right. So what is the new?
So that would be the one down there, down. This one would be No. That not one, not this one is lower, even lower in the.
Ah,
Yes. So this one probably
okay.
is. Oh no, that's not it.
That's a
Where is it?
rapid
Oh,
cycler.
that's probably it's in the coral of tree then.
Okay. So in the
That
Corolef
would be-
tree, we've got booster needles.
Yes, that's the one. Booster needles.
Let's
That's
see.
really fun to play with. Let's craft it and just put it in the gear set and just be happy about it.
Okay, significant increase in damage. Projectile unaffected by gravity. That's something that Windfall the other day
Yeah.
has only just realized that normally needles are
Yeah.
affected by
Well,
gravity.
because they're needles.
Yeah.
What would you expect?
So
They
he
fall
was-
down.
He was very upset because he
Yeah.
was shooting at people and they wouldn't hit them because he was too far away. So
Well, that's yeah.
he'll be very happy about this. I'm
but
pretty sure.
that is actually that is a really interesting addition or like an interesting change to the way this weapon plays, and I'm
Mhm.
really eager to see what the players think, and especially when it's not just when we show it off now, but when you get hands on and when we will hear real feedback on that. So
Mhm.
it's always we're highly dependent on what you guys think and what you guys sort of say. And how do you assess the changes that we make? We're basically doing this all together.
Yeah. So Mike is a little below.
Put it a little bit higher,
Okay.
but it's or put the game a tiny bit lower.
Okay.
Don't worry about it too much. It's alright for now.
We can take the master volume down to 20. And we're missing 2 people.
Yeah, but I guess we are. I'm just checking our hip chat, and I think the players are gathering. So just wait and see.
Hi everyone who's just like tuned in, by the way. If you weren't there
Hello.
for the beginning, we're just about ready for
For a
the
cool
first
match.
the
yeah.
first match.
Yes.
See what we've got in store. The other thing that we wanted to try is this is not going to make it into the.
Oh yeah, no, but that's like because it's just too awesome, and we wanted to make it as cool as possible. So this one, I think some people spotted last playtest. There were like very strange violet spheres,
Yeah.
sparkly spheres flying around. That
Yeah.
was basically this weapon, and don't mind the icon. It looks like a comrade, but obviously will have a different icon. It's actually a very interesting weapon. It shoots a projectile that, upon impact, creates a sphere
Mhm.
of damage, and
Yeah.
then you can potentially keep hitting the same spot, and so the sphere sort of slowly grows, and
It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. I did some experimentation with that earlier, and the way that you can play with it and you can kind of try and keep it up,
yeah,
but not like if you shoot it too many times,
yeah,
it
just
explodes.
explodes. Yeah, so
But
you-
if
you
it's
have to
it's
figure out
crazy,
it's actually a,
and it does damage to you as well if you walk into the
you
area
should-
effect,
yeah,
right?
yeah, you
So
should.
it's
I imagine
pretty cool.
it's actually hazardous, and for me, when I tried it first, I was like, oh, this looks like a very cool weapon for me. Well, I keep my healing ward and Kepler revitalizer, and this one would be like just standing behind everybody, healing everybody of my squad, and just area denying
Yeah,
the enemy, which could be fun. But I think it is also can be played as a very awesome PvE weapon, and also it could be a very instrumental in some of your, like, I don't know, uplink siege, for instance,
Yeah.
or central area siege. We'll have to see how it plays out. I'm
Yeah.
really interested to.
yeah, I can see it like working really well in terms of kind of denying access to choke points or yeah, just kind of funneling
Yeah.
and taking control of the area a bit more.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there's definitely some tweaks that they need to be done
I mean,
because it's very
it's
strong.
like as always, this stuff feels a bit too good
Yeah,
when we first do it. It's just like it might be just too awesome, but we will have to see. We will
yeah.
have a lot more internal playtests, and obviously we'll well, just one more person. We just need one more person. Come on, guys, Jäger, we need you, please.
Yeah, we just need one more. Show weapon now. This is the weapon.
Yeah, this is the weapon, and I mean you can see the description. The icon, unfortunately, is not the correct one. So
It's also going to be one of the already unlocked weapons, right? So your standard set before you.
I think like it depends, because normally we would like to make sure that everybody has a chance to try the new stuff. So obviously we are creating this progression sort of path, but for alpha and for the players who are actually great help to us they try out new things and they share the feedback. We want to make sure that everybody can try everything. So it will be either available at this start, but maybe I think actually would be even more cool if we would probably make sure that the progression is either quite fast or even like we give a lot of resources up front, so that people could right away unlock new things and specifically try new things, because of course we're interested at how the new things are like compared to your favorite weapons and how your new mods are compared to your current setup, and that's the way we were expecting. Oh no, somebody dropped out.
Why is it dropped?
Ay.
Oh, it was. Oh,
so
there we go.
close.
Someone forced it. So,
Okay.
so it's gonna happen. Please don't be too harsh. I'm still learning. Like I said, I just started working here like 2 weeks ago, so I'm not an expert by any sense of the imagination, really.
But no worries. I mean, I think we are pretty much. We have quite good players in house. I would
That
say.
is true, yeah. But it's always the danger whether you are with them or you're against them.
Let's see
So,
actually who we are.
Like Tisoji is always
very,
very strong.
That guy. But I'm not saying like we have quite okay. The squads are.
Party is really good.
Yeah.
In my experience.
We'll see. I mean, I hope that people will know that we are streaming and will not embarrass us too much. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. Once we're in game, let us know if the game sound is a little bit too loud. So if you can still hear us or not. I'm gonna, especially when we shoot stuff, because that was a little bit.
Yeah.
Of a problem last
by
time.
the way, I mean, we had done a lot of, we have put a lot of effort into making our footsteps sound more distinct, and like your footsteps versus the allies' footsteps versus the enemy footsteps. So should be way better if you use audio. And I mean, normally I hope people do listen to our audio, but we are doing a lot more in the future, so not everything is like when you are listening to our sound mix and audio in Alpha 5, please keep in mind that's work in progress, and we have a lot of things still to fix, and we have plans how to do that, so it's not unknown basically, but we are getting there. Oh no.
I did
there.
unload my magazine earlier because I was checking the sound. Totally forgot to reload. Right, where are we heading? The zero shot.
I mean, we could also look for some salvage, but it's probably a bit too
Salvage
far.
is a bit far at the moment.
Oh. I can't
there's
understand. Do we have a slacker in the squad? Why the guy, like, there's one guy who's just standing there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they're doing up there.
Just in case.
Who's
Why
number
are
one?
you not doing anything?
Okay, so we've got the zeal shot. We can
we can
get the mushrooms.
and then we can maybe even hope for. I still think we will be showing off a bit of a salvage here. So just a remind, that's a new quest we're working on. So the idea is that there are pieces of equipment in specific areas of the map, and that those pieces of equipment are being attacked by monsters who obviously don't want any of this here. And if you manage to kill the monsters and collect the equipment, you get points based off the remaining health points of the equipment parts. So basically, the faster you kill the monsters, the more equipment you sell, the more points you get from each area.
Should
But
probably put on my headphones
yeah, but
in
maybe
case I get some notifications.
some audio cues. But maybe something that is interesting about that quest is something that actually we did during this week.
Mm-hmm.
I will not spoil it. It might happen. It might not. We'll see. We'll see. If it happens, then I'll tell what is happening.
I'm gonna
Enjoy your new toy.
Oh, let's do this.
get the
Let's.
flechette gun and see
Let's see how it works.
how it works. We'll probably if we. I'm
You
not
need
some-
to take into consideration that the starting speed is very slow. So you should. You see, they're hanging in the air
Oh,
and then they're flying towards the enemy. So it's pretty powerful.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I see it.
So they
So
they will
if you strafe, it's kind of.
yeah. So you're basically creating like this wave of
yeah.
needles, and they fly pretty far. So,
That is pretty
but the trade-off for that is like you have way smaller
You know these guns were
magazines,
meant
so
for critters,
you
right?
basically run out of ammo
Who
way
am I
faster.
kidding?
Although the damage of each needle is higher than normal needles. So
And I
it's-
guess you have it as a tell, so it's like if you're fighting against it, you have a little bit more time to react to it and strafe
I
to
mean,
the side,
that
right?
actually is one of the downsides, and that's something that I'm not sure that it will be very interesting to see how that plays off in PvP. Because I myself use it mostly. I mean, this weapon is, in general, I use it mostly in PvE,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see. Because I mean,
It's stronger
yeah,
against
yeah,
the
yeah.
AI at the moment
Yeah, yeah.
because. Okay.
It could be also that you're accidentally running into enemies' needles, which are just starting
Mm-hmm.
to propel
Yeah.
forward. So,
Yeah, I guess that obviously could happen too.
so we have some first reactions. That looks awesome and wicked, and with cloak, yes, 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 and yeah, that's cool to get these ideas. But be sure that you have code and subscribed for Alpha 5, because all this you will be able to try hands-on very, very soon.
Yeah. So what if this is not going in? Like the
salvage quest.
the
is
salvage
not-
quest is not in,
Yeah,
and the haze gun
the
is
haze, yeah, the
not
haze. If we
finished
are,
yet.
if we are able to get some money, we'll be able to
Well,
look
I
at
did
the haze.
I did get one of the new mods that gives me more money for
Oh,
killing
awesome. Oh, I
monsters.
can see that your income is actually quite decent. I don't remember if we mentioned that previously, but we have a
All of the
Oh,
salvage
yeah.
spots are already.
well, the one
Already
that is
taken care
almost
of.
on the far end is
Yeah.
actually active. So
So we need to be really quick.
Yeah.
In order to get this.
we did
Pretty
a
far.
cool addition to the squad economy. I think we already told about it last time, but it never hurts to repeat. Now the stuff that you pick up, the credits you picking up are shared between your active players. So if somebody dies in your squad, you will effectively raise your credit share.
Ooh. Oh, this is good.
Well,
This is very good timing. We just.
Yeah, you might just be
so-
able to collect this.
So don't mind that. Like, they're not. The props are
Oh yeah, it's
work
just,
in progress.
As I said, this is not coming into alpha. It's just basically it's a prototype. It's something that our level designers put together, and Days, our
Oh,
great lead level
is-
designer, was big proponent of this one, and we are actually expecting to finalize it once we are like happy with the way that it plays. For now, it's it's totally work in progress, but that's why we are streaming it. We want early
that's
feedback.
not good.
Oh, whoa.
Alert. Engaged
Where is
by
he?
hostile group.
Oh, come on. Who is that?
I don't know.
Multiple hostile
Oh,
prospectors
it's
engaging.
it's Tessie. I don't know how to pronounce this nickname correctly.
Where is he?
Notice.
Okay.
Kit recalibrated
There
to
we go,
match
there we go.
increased
Ah.
operator performance.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
That was some fight. I must say, this new weapon mod actually showed is decent in PvP as well. It depends on the encounter, of course.
Ooh, there's another one. This is
Yeah.
maybe we should get.
Careful,
I'm a
Doc, it's
really
hot.
big fan of this, by the way.
Oh, I used to love bombardment, but
Looks like
recently
you
for
boys
some
should
reason I
invest in some
kind of
self-defense.
abandoned it for cloak, I think, or for turret. I really love
Turret is
Yeah,
turret is really good as well. I have only tried it once, but very. And when you upgrade them, they're very strong. I literally just today found out that you can upgrade your abilities in the match when you buy them multiple times.
Yeah.
I didn't.
mean, I think
I
it's
didn't
not-
realize
yeah,
that.
Yeah, I mean,
I never had the money to do that anyway. But
to be honest, probably not really explicitly, sort of like maybe not explicit enough in our gear store, but yeah, you can do that. So, there we go.
Caution.
The
Hostile
thing actually
engagement
did
by
trigger,
multiple
so one of the squads have
Warning.
acquired so many salvage
Fatal
parts
wounds
that
detected.
their
Triage mode
generator
activated.
activated. We don't know yet what exactly it is, but
Mm-hmm.
their generator activated and they need to defend it. And the other squads have a task, like our squad currently has a task to destroy it. So the squad that has the task to defend it, they have some leeway time to set up defenses. And well, then you guys basically have to take a decision of whether you want to sort of engage them or
Oh
not.
no, it's 500.
Yeah, you just need a
Can't
bit
take
more.
that yet. But I'm going to
Enjoy your new toy.
get this as well to give us some support. I do tend to pick the more defensive abilities because I am so unsure
Yeah,
about
well, I mean-
my abilities, like my actual playing abilities, that the tankier I am, the better.
Okay, the generator shield is online and yeah, it's rebooted, so now this started all over, so the squad that collects a lot of parts might trigger this again or might not. I mean, it's a work in progress, so I'm
Signs
happy
of
it triggered
territomorphic
once
field
at least, so we
resurgence
could
have
show
been
it.
detected.
Yeah.
Although I was hoping
So
that
we should
get
really
some
be
action.
heading towards the swamp camp because.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. Oh no. Okay. Salvage is
Well,
not in there.
Salvage doesn't have this
It's not on there yet.
commands, yeah, so
That's a
so
shame. But normally, like this is the new com wheel.
Yeah.
So you have the objectives, and you can go. So if we go into bright caps, we can say
No,
find
that's
them,
or
bring
you-
them.
Yeah, or camp, bright cap. And you can also, like, if you press V and you select some, you just hover over an option and just release it. For instance, you go and select the objectives, and then you hover over the bright caps. You will just get the basic audio. If you want more specific command, then you would need to click again, and then you will have the more specific commands in there.
Yeah.
The cool part of it though is that you can be overheard. So when you issue commands
Yeah.
to your squad, other players who are nearby can hear that.
So there should be some down there,
There is a
according to the
there is
according
this,
to the map. So let's have a look around. Maybe we can
okay.
Notice.
find some
Your
because
kit
we
has
only
increased
need
in match
5 more.
performance.
So if we find one,
I'm not actually sure. I think it's a generator spot where you. Oh,
that's
Looks like you
but
boys should
that doesn't
invest in
say.
some
That's
self-defense.
like it doesn't say 5 remaining or something. So
that is true.
you have to go like this is the generator basically. That's the thing that you can destroy once somebody has enough
Yeah.
spare parts. But again, like it's super work in progress. It might be not generator in the end. It could be some drop ship that comes and whatever.
I don't know if we had it in already last time, but we've these guys. I've got penetrating rounds on these,
Yeah, well,
And
yeah.
on the hammer as well, and I really like that because
That's-
when you fight multiple AI, it's really helpful because you can kill them with kill multiple with one shot.
Yeah. I mean,
Super cool.
That one is pretty good, but there are also there are other options now, and you have explosive bullets as well, which
Mhm.
should basically be probably a bit more straightforward to use, because for this one you need somehow to align the enemies, you know.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, I think I have the same setup actually. I have a hammer with penetrating rounds for the start of the match because
Yeah.
it's just feels like it's very effective.
What is this?
Well, this you just
That's just
found,
an
an SMG. I'm not really sure that is as awesome as your modified needler. Probably not.
Not quite.
Oh, there is a bunch of zeals. Maybe we can take one.
Yeah, it looks like there was some bloodbath or something.
Well, yeah.
Unless they're all standing around and it's
and there's just waiting
it's a
for you to
bloodbath in progress.
Oh, it is bloodbath in progress.
Oy,
You're
oy, oy. Okay.
Oh, but there is but that is cool because the bloodbath in progress and people are being
Clear the area.
DBNO'd. We have actually adjusted some of the stuff in DBNO. So
Okay.
as you know, I mean, I hope we are not DBNO'd ever, but
Let's run.
yeah, let's just run. So if you are DBNO'd previously, you would have this cool animation play, like you stretch a bit and then you are awake and everything is cool. But the other players could actually use that as a cue for your demise, basically say, okay, he played the animation, now he's vulnerable, now let's kill
Yeah.
that guy. Now we have a more smooth out of the BNO sort of exit curve, so
Yeah.
the damage suppression will not just switch off, it will just gradually go away. So
Yeah.
if you have managed to stay in the BNO where you were without teleporting,
Yeah.
you have a good chance of
You know
either
these guns
like
were made
taking
for
the
critters,
decision to
right?
engage the enemy
Who am I
who is
kidding?
still there, or you have enough reaction time to, I don't know, blink away or jump away or do some form of escape.
That's yeah, the kind of staying in place and hoping
Looks like you boys
hoping
should
that
invest
you
in some
either ignored by your enemies or they focus fire on
And
on your teammates and then they
yeah.
can kind of disengage. That really helps. And also if you when they jump
Yeah.
back in and they revive you and
Oh yeah,
they drop down the cooldown of the what is it called, the when you didn't die but you, like these guys,
yeah.
still
It's
have
basically they have the shield on cooldown, so now they actually can die if
Yeah.
they are too much. Well, basically.
but it's way shorter if they
If they didn't teleport, yes, and that's one of the reasons to try to sort of stay in the action, because you didn't sort of waste your charge,
Notice,
Mm.
operator
and then the
exceeded
shield
expectation.
recharges way
New
faster.
kit
Yeah.
subroutines
But
enabled.
it's risky. I mean, it's risky, and we've seen that. I mean, even you were like, there was poor Nathan in the BNO, and you just bombarded him
yeah
so that he teleports away.
yeah. Well, then again, he did take on 3 people at once,
Ah,
so he kind of
True that.
was
He is a
asking for
threat.
it.
Yeah, he is a threat. I
Yeah.
agree.
And he downed almost all of us. So.
Yeah, you were lucky to jump in right on time so that
Yeah.
you could basically give a bit of extra firepower in there.
Okay.
So, any questions, guys? We are taking questions from the chat as well, not just chatting over here about the roadmap.
Are we thinking of? Oh, that's this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we have enough
Yay.
good stuff. Yes, let's get that.
Heads up.
So Basilisk, I think we didn't show this off. It's a quite cool sniper rifle. Finally, Aziris have a proper sniper rifle.
It's a bit far now, this one.
Yeah, but I mean it's a rapid fire sniper rifle,
Yeah.
so you have 3 bullets, but you can fire
Let's get
them
you back
pretty
home.
fast. So
Evacs co-
if you land your shots where they need to land, like somewhere
Yeah.
in the head, then it's
Like-
pretty powerful, and it has a bit less shaky recoil, like compared to Kinetic Arbiter, but again, it's like for me, I think this sniper rifle works the best, but I know
Mm.
that there are people who are absolutely like hilariously good at kinetic arbiter, for instance, and probably they will not change, but we want to have options for different players.
What are these guys doing? Why
I
are they
mean-
still there? I need to.
Maybe you should communicate to your squad and just say,
Yeah.
you know what, maybe we should
Get
evac.
off this rock now.
We really do. Like.
I
2
mean,
minutes
you
to-
barely have time to just reach escape, so that's
Yeah, and there's I think on this version, on this build, we have the extended authentication
Yes.
period, so we don't actually have 2 minutes. We only have like
Oh,
a
yeah,
minute and
no.
20 if
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
if we get there, because
The period is extended, but the radius is also a bit higher. So I mean, it basically, we're trying to achieve the goal of making sure that everybody can have a chance to escape, not just people who are camping there, but people who just sneak in and just wait somewhere behind some pile of boxes or whatever. So that would be really cool to see and to check. So again.
let's hope no one is trying out to how the haze works if they block off things here. Okay,
I mean, we might have tried it, but we don't have
Looks-
enough money, unfortunately.
looks like decent timing.
Yeah,
The
the ship
evac
just
ship
arrived.
is just arrived, so
Are we
Checking
going
your
to?
ID. Can't rush the
Where
little
are
stuff, you
like?
know.
Oh, we have
Yeah,
our
we-
squad mate coming up. Awesome,
okay, we're
awesome.
already in the zone. That's good. Stay quiet.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there is definitely a haze over there.
Yeah. You can
So
see
that's dangerous.
the area denial.
Might be worth getting this out of the way. Okay. Looking good. Oh, okay.
Come on. It's almost there.
Setting up a kinetic barrier.
Oh, you got your guy right inside your.
Fun time's
Yeah,
over. Now
that's
get
perfect
in.
weapon for such occasion.
Okay.
Close range
Now we can-
melts the
Government for
enemies.
critters, right?
Now we can
Who am I kidding?
head in.
Evac ships, now buckle up. It's gonna be a bump.
See
Yay!
what happens. So I
Okay.
didn't die. They probably were keeping that.
That's I mean, and then the second place quite decent, and I mean, but I would say kudos to squad 4. Despite being only 2 people left, they managed to win
Yes.
the match, which is
Pretty impressive.
pretty impressive. And Tal Devman was one of the main contributors to the squad, although Patrick and Fennec. I don't know who actually did the job, but they did a really great job. So awesome.
Right.
So let's see what we have here. I'll just allow myself to read the chat message here. I've been playing some other games with snipers as well and found one thing I dislike a lot in the cycle. If you're moving, the scope doesn't show the exact position where your shot will hit. What are your thoughts on this mechanic? Vemdrew asks. Well, we are actually also looking into that, because I'm not sure that is the best way it could work. We're basically trying to achieve a certain balance between mastery, and the way that the weapon plays. Basically, how much skill does it require to be as effective as possible? And
Yeah.
I mean, I think in some cases we just went a bit too far, and maybe we should take a look at that again. But in general, the idea is that when you're on the move, it's way harder to hit with a sniper rifle, just by the nature of how sniper rifles work.
Yeah.
So, but we are very open on that front to feedback, and especially like we are listening a lot to what you guys normally say about the weapons like balancing and arrangement. So
Yeah. So, for instance, like even internally as well, like the Haze launcher, we've just tried out for like with multiple people in the team today, and immediately there was quite a lot of feedback because it's such a powerful weapon to an extent, and it's like the question of whether it maybe needs some toning down.
we're doing a lot, a lot of stuff to the weapons in this sort of iteration. We have rebalanced a lot. So I've got another question. Concerned about combo of shield and ward to block off central entrances. Yes. We would. I mean, there are multiple things that we need to take into account. We have multiple entrances.
What are we playing after this?
We're playing solo list. Oh, solo loop, I think. Let me check.
Huh?
I'm asking right now. Turn the just talking screen
Mm-hmm.
where you can see
Oh, yeah.
the two of you.
Yeah. Okay. So we are playing solo loop. Sorry, I was
Solo
mistaken.
loop. Okay.
So I'm just reading some of the answer of some of the questions from my phone. So yeah, the combo shield. You know that shield shield actually does have to. It only sustains a certain amount of damage. I'm not
Damage,
saying
yeah. So
Yeah.
it won't block off.
forever, but it
forever.
can hold you. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. Probably would be potentially a problem. So we need to look into that definitely.
How does the for instance the haze work against the shield? Like if you were shooting the haze at the shield, because it has an area effect and you can enlarge it, would it go past the barrier?
Yeah, the shield would stop the projectile, but the area could go past the barrier, so that would work.
So
But
you could counter the shield with the
in
haze as
some
well.
In some sense, but also if we talking about healing ward in there, that could negate potential damage that does get through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's totally valid question. I think we will try that in our internal playtests, and the idea is that we were just trying to make sure that we there are multiple options on how do you get in, and we are hoping at least that it will be very hard to sort of block off every single entrance and prevent everybody from getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Could there be perhaps mods added to reduce this effect?
The effect of the
I guess,
sniper.
the effect of sniper rifle. Yeah. I mean, in general, since we now have mods, it's a full-fledged system. We are talking about a lot of like what could we do to put some basic effects or some basic behavior of the weapons that we have in there to make it distinct. How can we now sort of start messing with that sort of rule set that we create for ourselves and see what we can do? So I'm not going to make any promises, guys, but I think that it's totally valid to look into mods as well. The sniper scopes effect reflections are just meh. Yeah, I mean, first, of course, we are trying our best to make sure that everybody is happy, but we will have to see. I mean,
Yeah, and it's a work in progress. So
yeah.
we'll
A lot of the stuff is work in progress, and I'm not also like I'm not really used to use some of our scopes, so I think we will be putting some more thought and some more work into that. Again, like I can't really give any sort of timeline on that, but in general, like exactly such feedback is what we're looking for.
Exactly.
What we're looking for from our playtests and from streams and from a Discord chat, so that we will take a look. I'll talk to the artist and see maybe there is some obvious stuff that we somehow either missed or just done in a way that just makes people's life a bit more miserable than it should be. So we'll take a look.
Absolutely, and it's like it's the balance between making people's life miserable on purpose and kind of by accident, right? So you obviously want to give people the tools to do that, but I'd rather not for kind of inconvenience them.
Yeah. We don't really want to make mods or things that would make the experience worse. Like you craft the scope, you put it on your rifle, it has to enhance in a way your experience with the weapon or change it in a meaningful way. So If
Yeah.
it changes only to the worse, like oh it's a reflection, oh my god the crosshair is different or rigged or not or working correctly, then we'll just have to look into it and fix it, because that's definitely not the intention to make you feel miserable about the scopes. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Right. I don't know. We haven't talked that much about the roadmap,
Yeah.
like kind of going forward to. So let's talk a bit about that. Like, what are the main the big kind of pillar changes that or features that we want to bring in after Alpha 5 and
Yeah.
in Alpha 6 and then going forward
Yeah.
to.
So I guess I mean we could did we share the link of with our
Maybe
viewers?
we can get a link.
Yeah,
in
but
this.
big major bits. So we are talking about station focus for Alpha 6. There is a lot of stuff that we want to do, and obviously I'm not sure.
And by station you mean
we
this,
talking about
this,
we are like we have showed off this new launch screen already, and we are as the characters of the game, we are basically flying over the planet and the orbital station, and do the stuff that we are doing in metagame is what you're doing in the station. That's all like station life. So for us, all these menus, they have to become less abstract and become more relevant as a position or time and space coordinates which you take, and that is basically you're in the station, and we are trying to streamline the systems there. And the first thing that we're going to try out is crafting, and actually there is a click prototype going around the office right now. We're getting a lot of feedback internally from people who play a lot of different games to make sure that we nail it properly, and there is a substantial rework that awaits the station, and I think we'll be sharing more details and even maybe the short designs or some mock-ups with you guys to show some work in progress. The idea of the new change is to make sure that all the functions that you need in the station are perfectly accessible, and they are noticeable, and they are very intuitively like available. And of course we're not going to do a lot of stuff on one screen, so we'll have like equipment tab, and there will be your inventory that you're able to see the full catalog of what you own, crafting,
Kit adapted
and gear
for improved
sets,
operation in current environment.
And so the focus of that is just to make the flow of how do you get blueprint, then you craft a weapon, then you modify that weapon, then you put it in your gear, so to make this flow smooth and intuitive. That's basically sort of like a major bit for us for Alpha 6. But let me check if so. I was advised to switch on one of the lamps here. I guess now we look a bit less, or I personally look a bit less lighty. There is a question on the Reskins that keeps popping up in our chat. I mean, in general, we are trying to. We basically the fun part is that this Speedy Wagon is just giggling in the corner there, because that's what we were like, not in anime skins, but the skins, and in general like character customization and vanity was one of the main topics of internal discussions throughout this week. And for now we are looking forward to basically produce customization options which would be meaningful, and we will have like a very distinct character that would be still within the narrative and the feeling of this world. But as always, you never know, and I wouldn't take any of the options off the table for now, because that's just anything could happen, and we are developing the game together, and we are putting the changes in, and we're getting your ideas. So who knows, maybe at some point we will be talking about this. For now, I can just say that the first options that we're going to provide will be tied very deep within our
Hunt down the Z
within our
carrier.
world. So let me see if I can find that blogspot and see what other highlights. What other highlights do you have?
We definitely, we have the customization, station abilities, new mods, 2 abilities as well as a thing going forward. So that you're able to not just modify your weapons, but you're also
It's not you,
able to
it's
modify
me.
your turrets, your wards, and so on.
Yeah, so ability mods is a bit different from the weapon mods and kit mods.
Okay,
So
that was a little bit
So ability mods are going to modify your ability to the very large extent. That means that you are going to have to imagine that you're basically changing entirely how ability works.
Notice,
We
your kit
have
has increased
just
in match
prepared the
performance.
system to do that, but just to give a rough example, and this is by no means an actual depiction of the actual mode, but just an example of how that could work, right? So imagine orbital bombardment that would drop
Enjoy your new.
the shells, which would not explode immediately, but would wait for some time and then explode. So so forming sort of like a delayed minefield. That's just again it's not the mode that we are working
like
on
you
because we
boys should
still have
invest in some
we are collecting
self-defense.
Or
ideas.
you could increase the radius, or it
but,
works faster or something like that.
But the main thing is it changes the way that ability works way more than any mod changes the way that weapon works.
Right. So the weapon mods and the kit mods are more to kind of enhance or to slightly dial it up and down, right? Because you always have a trade-off with that.
Yeah. Careful. Oh. Cool that you
See,
just,
this is why I have all the
Yeah.
all of the tankiness.
Yeah, just so you can sustain this damage and still be talking. Yeah, so that's then the question that we're seeing, that ability mods, yes, exactly. I mean, we are going to do that. That's so basically on our roadmap that we are doing that, and we are talking about this. So what else for the next alpha? So one of the things you can see right here is this salvage contract. We're going to do more sort of more iteration on this, and we're looking to, again, please keep in mind that all these things that I name could be subject to change, because we are in progress, as you know, and things change, and sometimes we find that something is way greater challenge than we thought, or something is
Under
way
attack
easier
by
than we
multiple
thought. So
prospectors.
this list will change, but we're also looking to provide a very basic first try on the character customization system for Alpha 6, and
Engage hostile
increase the map sort of attractiveness by introducing
Extensive
something that we
injuries
refer to as
detected.
environmental storytelling.
Mob
So
alert. Vitals
the
critical.
goal here is we
Emergency
want to
triage
make sure
engaged.
that you guys look at the map and you
Operator
encounter
expiration
different
averted.
objects on the map, and
Emergency
you
shield
come into
recharging.
different areas or structures in the map, and you kind of can guess or read what happened here from the way that the objects are placed, or what objects are there, or what
Yeah.
traces are there, and so on. So what else?
Yeah, that was one of the first things that I wanted to know. When I started playing the game, is I wanted to find out more about the world and the lore, and yeah, it was one of the most kind of interesting questions as well that I had when we first met, about how would you go about it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, to finding out more
Yeah.
where everything comes from, why it is where it is, and
Oh yeah, that's that. I guess I mean that's interesting for a lot of
Operator
people,
exceeded
and we have a lot of
New kit subroutines
we have
enabled.
a lot of lore written down, and I think that it's just time to start putting it to good use. For Alpha 6, again, like there will be also potentially, if we are able to wrap this up and actually we're satisfied with it, we might introduce a new enemy,
yeah.
and we also do some
You know these guns are meant for
things
critters, right?
to our tech infrastructure
Who am I
in order to be able to start up battle servers in different regions and so
that's-
on. Oh, Zeal Crystal. Very cool.
That's a handy drop.
Yeah, so tech infrastructure update also for Alpha 6 is
Unless, of
currently
course,
outstanding.
I have people
Yeah,
who want it.
let's
around the
see.
corner.
The question from Discord, and yeah, thanks and hi Discord, thanks for watching us. Tell me what you guys think about the current economy implementation, crafting materials and such, if you're looking into changing and improving. Well, funnily enough, and I think these guys here will not let me
Looks like you
deceive
boys
anyone. I
should
just
invest in
did a
some
presentation,
self-defense.
part of which I mentioned that what we want to do within the stationary work that we mentioned with crafting, we want to make it a bit more relatable and authentic, and we want to introduce more crafting materials which would be like better connected to the way the world works in general. And for instance, and again, it's just an example and it's
Hostile
in no way
engagement by
finished
multiple
design, but as an
prospectors.
example, we could say that if you're going to make a shard weapon, if you're going to craft a shard weapon, you kind of need to get the shards. You need to get those special crystals that this weapon uses.
Extensive
And
injuries
you
detected.
can find those crystals in a specific, very specific. Oh no, we're dead. Oh well,
Well,
you win some, you lose some. Let's see.
we didn't do very well anyway, but now we can.
Yeah, now we can just relax and spectate.
Exactly.
Yeah, so as I was saying, we are looking into introducing more crafting materials and making them way less abstract and way more related to what you actually craft. So you can basically, like, even if you find the material on the map, and you could guess potentially where you would apply that, or like from the name or from the shape.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? See, okay, yeah. I don't think we have
So
any
these
more
guys are working together pretty well. Who is that?
questions. Yeah, Light Monk, I just answered the economical question. Like, I can briefly repeat it. We are going to introduce more crafting materials which would be thematically connected to stuff that you craft. Mainly talking about so what factions are you working for, and what ammo type the weapon uses,
Yeah.
what it's made of, and so on. So you have better understanding and better relatedness to.
And you
what
have a better goal. Like, for instance, if the question, like, you want to craft a better shard weapon, then you have to get the right resources, and you, like, one of your goals when you play is to get them, so you have to kind of figure
Yeah.
out where best to get them.
Yeah, how to get the shards, and also then means that you're going to know where the shards are most likely to be found, because it's
Exactly.
a specific material, like in some specific sector of the map.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I think there were people who were concerned about the the words. So current change to the words, as you can see, that they have higher cooldown, and they have way longer refresh rate. So you don't actually see anyone moving. You see someone detected in there, and then after 5 seconds, if that person is still in the radius, you'll see where he has moved. So
Like a radar.
yeah, like a radar, basically. It's just emits sort of impulses that detects you. So it's no longer allow you to sort of trace, like, step after step, the movement of your enemies. Oh, it's exciting.
This
Somebody's
is,
fighting using haze.
there's loads of people
Yeah,
here. Holy
well, everybody
moly.
wants haze. So let's see, closed beta, which we are currently talking about for spring next year.
Mm-hmm.
The big bits on that one would be I mean, I think we all talked about a lot. Like, we want to make sure that our contracts and the missions, that the activities that players engage in are interesting and exciting enough.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be focusing for first update and close beta to introduce new quests, but also to review our old quests and to add some depth and some readability to them and make sure that the sort of risk reward ratio is in all quests is not only correct and actually reflects what it is, but also is somehow visible to the players. So we want to make sure that you understand if you're taking on a risky but rewarding quest. We want to make sure that you understand that that quest is risky but rewarding. It's just not just a random thing that you just like picked one out of three and decided, I'll just go with that.
Yeah. I like the I think that's a change from last week because it's slightly more visually obvious.
Yeah.
When you pick up actually on this one, probably not because they picked up the whole batch of them. But you get the mushrooms hanging off the belt.
But then you have this sort of package which you use to carry the mushrooms around. So it's a very nice addition.
Yeah, sometimes you see them like lying around as well. Like earlier in the playtest, I had one that had loads in. Like it was pretty heavily guarded by some creatures, but it had, I don't know, like 1,000 in them. It was a really big package. So that was worth
that was cool.
The engage.
Yeah. I mean, so I think one more thing that is worth mentioning today for the closed beta is what we're going to start doing. We're going to start our iterations on matchmaking algorithms. So now, I mean, I guess everybody noticed that our matchmaking is super basic one. 20 players, go, that's it. And we obviously want to make sure that the new players are not intimidated by the skill and knowledge of the game, of the older players, and they're also not facing a lot of sort of tricky, hard to understand behavior, like with mods and so on. So obviously we do take great effort to make sure that everything is more or less balanced between each other, and there is not like you're getting more options when you progress, but not like more just sheer strength. But even so, the ability to get those options and to pick and choose is actually very important.
That was a nice charge.
Yeah.
Unfortunately missed one. The other day, someone charged another player who was invisible at the time and knocked him out cold into BDNO. It was really good.
Yeah. So we want to start iterating on matchmaking, and that I think that would answer one of the questions that we're also constantly asked on this. Quite a bit of a discussion we are having all the time about like why these players are so far ahead in some matches, because they're like just too good, and obviously we have no detection of that in algorithm to try to put them in their separate sort of world and make sure that they don't disrupt the experience of less experienced players.
Yeah.
But that's something that's a big thing that we're going to start iterating upon when we move to closed beta, and that would be also a moment when we will switch to 24/7 service, I guess. At least that's the plan. So that would be way easier for us to iterate on such systems that require a lot of data and a lot of things coming in as matchmaking.
Yeah, that was a really nice teleport there.
Yeah.
Out of the danger zone.
So we are at 3 minutes till the end of the match, and that I guess will be also
the end of the stream.
Moment when we will wrap up. So you have 3 minutes to ask questions or I don't know, say something nice to us, which we also appreciate.
Yes. And how many people are still alive? Oh, still good few, 10.
Yeah.
Not bad. Russian language.
Russian language, it is there. I mean, it is there. We support Russian language, and you can switch to Russian in the game. Why? Say something in Russian. Привет. Мы действительно перевели игру на русский язык, и в нее можно играть на русском. Прямо сейчас можно переключить на русский. I was basically saying that you can just switch to Russian right now, just to be on the safe side. I mean, you can switch to Russian right now. I'm not saying you can play in Russian right now.
Not quite, no.
Yeah, but it will be
But
very
next
soon.
weekend,
Next weekend,
you can definitely play in Russian.
Yeah, just be prepared.
What contracts are planned?
Well, I mean, actually, we are now seeing that's something that we are playing is Salvage. That's something that we're planning to release in Alpha 6, and the Bright Caps collection is Alpha 5 is already going to be available for you to try out next week. I don't want to open all the cards, but what I would say is that contract ideas and the ideas for interesting interactions within those contracts or interesting sort of twists in the contracts are really, really welcome, because I think all our experience since forever shows that like one person or even a group of people cannot have all the good ideas, and we're actually really hoping that some of the great ideas for our contracts would come from the community. So please share your ideas on Discord, on our social media, and we will be eager to listen, and maybe your contract gets in at some point. Who knows?
This is a nice little play here. I don't know if Volcon had like other abilities unlocked already or slotted in, but he went for the stim pack, so because he doesn't have much time left.
Yeah, and stim pack actually increases your speed.
Exactly, so he's trying to get there in time, get to the evac ship, which will be tough.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, he still has chance, because the ship will not leave if he touches the authorization area. So, if he's lucky, he can actually survive some of the storm damage and still fly off. But we'll see. Unless somebody waits.
He doesn't have a shield, so that's already not ideal for him.
Yeah.
And there's other people there who have the haze gun.
Well, yeah, a lot of area denial. Oh, there is still like battle going on there.
Also, that like I would not choose that weapon. That's the Karma, right? I'd not choose that in close quarters necessarily, unless you go like for a point blank shot. But
I think it's really hard to use in close quarters.
Yeah.
It's really powerful, but you really you have to land each shot really carefully.
Still red.
So now, I mean, that's where the damage will start.
The damage is ticking down.
Yeah. So we'll just hope that. Yay! I guess that's it. I guess he made it. Let's see.
He did.
Yay!
As the last one to evacuate.
But Nathan is still on the surface. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh yeah, there's still two people.
Yeah, still two people on the surface. Here
Okay.
they are.
Oh yeah, they're
trying to
one.
trying to sustain the damage and just to get in the last moment. And you see the ship waits, so if you make it in the last moment, just make sure that you have enough survival ability that you can just maybe authorize and still fly off. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
That was
nice
really
play.
close.
Nice play. It's a good.
That's our level design department. What should you expect? they build the level. They're obviously good at the game. Okay.
Right.
So, I guess we will be wrapping up.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for joining us and watching. We'll also put it live on YouTube probably on Monday.
Yeah.
So you can catch up on it if you missed anything. Definitely make sure to join the Alpha 5 next weekend. It's starting on Friday and on Saturday. So Friday starts at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
European time. So you have to work that out if you're like in the States or something.
But also, you just take a look. The dates are like here, like the
definitely,
time,
like,
date.
Make note, and we'll start with solo.
Yeah, and then squad.
With the solo made for 3 hours, and then we do 3 hours squad mode, and then the next day I think we do 4 hours each.
So, okay, so yeah, somebody is satisfied that I've spoken some words in Russian. Yeah, I mean, I just have to prove that I do speak Russian every now and then. Yeah, so again, subscribe to everything. What do we have? We have everything. We have Facebook, right?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
And Twitch. We need subscribe. We need
definitely
people
Twitch.
properly dressed.
Tell all your
finally.
friends.
Yeah.
Also about the alpha. Tell all your friends. Again,
Yes.
you have the chance to play squad. So you know, if some of your mates weren't able to join you last time, just get them on board on Friday and Saturday next week.
Yeah, and you will have, as we discussed, a lot of stuff will be available for like right away unlock, so you'll be able to try everything that we showed off.
Yes. Someone just mentioned that they can't join on Friday. We're still debating what exactly we're going to do with the progress and where we start, but
I mean, there are basically two options. One option is we keep the progress from the last alpha, and the people who start, they have a bit of stuff they're already in. But I think what we are actually now closer to as decision will just give everybody enough reputation, like faction reputation and crafting materials, that they will be able to afford, like, not everything, but basically anything. And that means that if you if you join on Saturday, you will not have to catch up much. You'll just have to like make good choices, you know.
Yeah.
And then like the rest, like there will be some stuff still that you would probably need to get some rewards for, but basically the majority of new stuff will be readily available to try out right away. So okay,
well, I guess
So,
that's it.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching.
Hopefully we'll see you all in game next week
Yep.
for the Alpha 5, and we'll keep you posted about all of the changes coming in.
All of the exciting updates. And so have a nice weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bye.